Today's WNEM TV5 Morning Extra is brought to you by Roof Max of Midland.
Today, we're checking out possible safety upgrades to a high-risk intersection. Plus, a word of caution for those before they want to head out on the ice. Thanks for joining us for TV5 Morning Extra. If you were watching us on Facebook or YouTube right now, remember to like, follow, and comment on the stories that are most important to you. Before we get into some of your top stories for today, let's check in with meteorologist Matthew Mondro, who's tracking those rising temperatures on the way.
Yeah, Lauren, we are tracking some above freezing temperatures. It's already somewhat warm out there this morning, at least relative to where we have been the last couple of days. Temperatures went up throughout the overnight. Even right now, it's 40 degrees in Mount Pleasant. We have 38 at MBS Airport and in Flint, 37 in Bad Axe, also about 38 in West Branch. We're already essentially at our high temps for today, too. These numbers just stay pretty steady as we go throughout this Wednesday. But tomorrow, even warmer at 44 degrees. Will fall over 20 degrees from there from tomorrow afternoon into Friday morning. So especially after the snow melt and the rain tomorrow, we could see a flash freeze on Friday morning or some icy conditions developing. So that Friday morning commute could possibly be a little bit treacherous. So first alert weather day is still possible. We are expecting to make our final decision on this later this morning. But for the bus stops for today, this morning we just have a cloudy sky. We could see a few breaks in the clouds towards the afternoon, but parents, as you're getting ready to pick your students up even later on today, expect pretty much the same temperatures as right now, too. We'll talk more about the rainfall for tomorrow coming up in just a bit. Lauren, back to you.
Matthew, thank you. As temperatures warm up, we also want to remind you to stay cautious when heading out on the ice. 2 snowmobilers from Grand Haven died over the weekend after falling through the ice in western Michigan. Remember, ice can appear more solid than it actually is. Check the thickness. You can use a tool like an auger before walking or driving on it. Also, let someone know where you're going and when you plan to be back, and always take your phone with you. Wearing waterproof clothing along with a personal flotation device is also a good rule of thumb. Happening today, MDOT closing some lanes on I-75. There will be closures northbound of I-75 just south of Dixie Highway in Bridgeport. MDOT will be working on upgrading road signs there. The lane closures start at 8 p.m. tonight and are expected to open back up around 6 tomorrow morning. People living at Village Shore Apartments in Flint say they're living without water, even lost heat for a few weeks. They say the water was turned off 2 days before Thanksgiving because the building was condemned. The city has not confirmed if or why it was added to the list, but those staying there believe it was due to past issues like bed bugs, flooding, and mold. They add the complex has given them until December 27th to vacate the premises. In Tuscola County, Millington's village president will spend a month behind bars for drunk driving. Andrew Zalick pleaded guilty in September to operating a vehicle while intoxicated or with a high blood alcohol content. It was his 3rd alcohol-related driving offense. A judge sentenced him Tuesday, giving him credit for 1 day served, along with 3 years of probation and 480 hours of community service. An intersection where 3 members of the Putman family in Tuscola County were killed in September is now receiving much-needed safety upgrades. Rumble strips, flashing lights will be installed at Hurd's Corner and Deckerville Roads, along with 5 other locations. The Putman family hopes the upgrades will be installed in the next month, but no official timeline was given. And staying in Tuscola County, the Election Commission clearing up details surrounding a recall proposal for multiple elected officials in Cairo. The county clerk says the recall language for city council members Jill White, Heidi Parker, and Doreen Odie were denied. The petitions state they violated city charter by failing to fill a vacant council seat within 60 days. And in Elmwood Township, the county clerk there says an appeal period for Township Clerk Pam Brinkman and Township trustees Rochelle Brown and Evan Laurie ended Sunday with no appeal filed. The clerk says the recall sponsors are expected to start collecting signatures soon. The recall comes in relation to a January meeting where the 3 were accused of voting in favor of terminating the township's relationship with a law firm for another law firm to handle the township's legal services. The recall sponsors need to collect a minimum of 120 valid signatures by the end of January for the matter to be placed on a ballot in May.
The historic disrespect that the House Republicans took last week is unacceptable.
Michigan House Republicans facing criticism from Democratic lawmakers after the GOP made use of a provision canceling active work projects without approval from the Senate or Governor Gretchen Whitmer. That move impacts over $645 million in funds, tens of millions of which were supposed to be used right here in mid-Michigan. Republican leaders say the money wasn't spent quick enough, calling their actions a negotiating tactic. In Saginaw, one project that'll be affected, $1 million for the East Side Soup Kitchen, which serves most of the city's most vulnerable residents.
I know the need, I see it, I live it every day, and this money was given to us, it was allotted, and I think that, we should be able to get that money.
Other community projects that would be affected include those in Frankenmuth, Flint, pool renovations in Saginaw Township, Bay City Bridge reimbursement, and more. In Lansing, members of the Michigan Legislative Black Caucus, Asian Pacific American Caucus, Detroit, and Latino Caucus met to condemn that move.
This was not just a wish list. These dollars were already negotiated, voted on, and signed into law.
House Republicans say some funding could be restored in future negotiations. For a complete list of all those affected projects, check the hot links section on our website at WNEM.com. In more local news now, applications for scholarships with Saginaw Promise are now open. This is open to students who live in or graduate from a high school in Saginaw, Zilwaukee, Kochville, and the area of Buena Vista designated to the Saginaw Public School District. The scholarship can be used at the state's trade schools, community colleges, and universities for tuition and mandatory fees. To find out more, click on the hot links section on our website. And Michigan is awarding millions of dollars in grants to local businesses to help train their new hires. The Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity awarded $25 million in the latest round of Going Pro Talent Fund grants to hundreds of businesses across the state. Of that money, over $3 million was given to 58 mid-Michigan businesses. The department says the grants will support the training of over 600 new hires and over 1,000 employees in high-demand positions. Today, Saginaw leaders want to hear from you about the future of the city. The Community Development Block Grant Division is hosting a meeting and open house today for input that'll make its way to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Dinner will be provided and all ages are welcome. The first eligible 100 households receive a free air purifier. That meeting starts tonight at 6 at the Anderson Enrichment Center on Ezra Russ Drive. You're watching TV5 Morning Extra. We're going to take a quick break, but coming up, checking out a special event helping light up the night for local pediatric patients. And if you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, remember, like, follow, and comment about the stories that mean most to you. Matthew will have a look at your first alert forecast when we come back.
And going into this Wednesday, tracking some above freezing temperatures currently. These temperatures actually warmed up during the overnight. So for today, we expect the day entirely in the mid to upper 30s. These temperatures that we have this morning are essentially our high temps for today as well. We will even be warmer tomorrow at about 44 degrees. And I will note here, too, that after some of the wind from yesterday and also some of the temps that were close to freezing yesterday, along with a little bit of sun, we actually did see a little bit of ice breaking up on the Saginaw Bay. There was a large ice flow in the northern bay that also started to move out because of that wind. So a word of caution to ice fishers. Those ice conditions are only expected to get worse here between today and tomorrow, especially. Now, for Friday morning, the first alert weather day is possible because we could see a flash freeze there, especially after all the snow melt and all the rain that we're going to pick up for tomorrow. So that Friday morning drive could be icy and take longer than normal. I'll show you how this plays out. So this is tomorrow morning. This is about 9 in the morning. We have some spotty rainfall moving in, more spotty rain during the early afternoon, but then rain really picks up by about dinner time, pretty much after 5 o'clock. That's 8 in the evening tomorrow. Still plenty of rain and then some snow possibly on the trailing edge of that. That's just indicating how quickly those temperatures fall. And then from there, temperatures pretty much drop like a rock as we go throughout Thursday night. By Friday, we're left with some scattered lake effect snow showers and temps only into the mid-20s by Friday afternoon. Rainfall alone here, we're looking at about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch. That's also going to rinse any of the salt off of our roadways that we currently have. And take a look at these temperatures too. So they'll go from the mid, possibly even upper 40s briefly just ahead of the front, going from there to about freezing very quickly towards midnight. And then the rest of the night after midnight, we drop down to about 20 degrees. So a very quick cool down. That's why there's that potential for the flash freeze on Friday morning. Very much up and down with these temperatures though in the 7 days. So we have 36 today, generally mid to upper 30s today, 44 tomorrow, 24 on Friday, back to the mid 30s on Saturday, then back to the upper 20s on Sunday and Monday, and then back to the mid 30s again on Tuesday. So again, very much up and down. But after the system passes by at the end of the day tomorrow, Lauren, that forecast is actually pretty quiet as we start off the first official week of winter next week.
First responders and people throughout the community are providing a colorful light show for young patients at Hurley Medical Center in Flint. Known as Hurley Glow, the annual event also features an emergency vehicle parade with glow sticks and flashlights meant to bring some cheer to children in the hospital for the holidays.
Knowing that there are tons of people out here who will come to your aid whenever you need it is so important to these kids, and I want them to know that. We need them to know that.
This was their 6th year of the event. TV5 partnered with Saginaw's East Side Soup Kitchen yesterday for a day of giving, helping raise awareness and support for the nonprofit, from monetary donations to winter clothing. Even giving your time as a volunteer can go a long way.
We are so grateful to WNEM TV5 for getting our word out there, the need out there. People have every right to have food and to be warm.
The Soup Kitchen will also host its annual Christmas dinner next Tuesday, December 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Everyone is welcome to stop by. In Bay County, celebrate the season this week at the Monitor Township Fire Department. The 2025 Cookies, Cocoa, and Santa celebration kicks off tomorrow at Township Hall. This free family-friendly event starts with the arrival of Santa and Mrs. Claus, escorted by firefighters. You can take pictures, enjoy music, festive crafts, and more. Santa and Mrs. Claus are expected to arrive at the Township Hall at 5. And tickets are still available to watch a performance of the Nutcracker at the Dow Event Center. Friday's show features 40 world-class dancers and handcrafted sets combined to tell the beloved holiday story. It is one night only. Tickets range in price from $64 to $156. Want to check in now with Matthew for one more look at your first alert forecast.
Yeah, and that 7-day forecast here, very much up and down with these temps over the next couple of days, but we're above freezing for today and as we go into tomorrow. Tomorrow, the warmest day of the week at 44. Could have a flash freeze on Friday morning, which would mean some icy roadways, and then into the weekend. It is actually fairly quiet into the weekend, but Lauren, even then, those temps still varying quite a bit day to day.
All right, Matthew, thank you. And thanks for watching TV5 Morning Extra. We hope you'll join us back here for TV5 News at 9.